before, and I'll detail whether it's before or after we're set up. Before we're set up, we have to have everyone have all their shit and what they need to set up tent and be warm. Everybody needs.
I have a question. Since we're going to the film
On
Wednesday, what are we going to do with our things while we're doing that?
That's something. Jot that down.
No, like 48 hours.
I mean, are we trying to?
I don't know.
We
Okay.
should probably have them like in the park and then have someone watching them that doesn't want
I
to go.
completely disagree with that. Respectfully.
It's going to be dark
Yeah,
and
I don't
There's just a lot of room for
Yeah.
like. That's just a.
maybe if there's a safe place, like for instance, Ryan who lives a block away.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
But I don't know.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, I don't know why. Like, what would be the problem with if everybody's got a small backpack with their stuff? What's the problem with that?
Yeah, also depends on the meeting.
That's true. That's gonna have to be a separate. I think.
It's gonna have to be in trucks.
Yeah, I think it's gonna have to be a separate thing altogether from the march from
Come from tables.
Gallery 5.
What about?
Well,
No,
maybe
if we make everything mobile before we get down there, we can bring all. If it's basically. If it's good enough to be what we want it for, like if we actually do a good enough job to actually meet the demands of being able to plug out, plug in, then it will be able. We should be able to take it all with us.
Well, I would think.
It'll be the first good demonstration of our capability to be mobile.
Well, the first I think it would be better if every working group had at least one car and one truck, so they can have their stuff in the car and in the truck. If they can just park it, find a parking spot along the perimeter of the park. You don't need to bring all that to the march. You know, you can set that up after we're already in the place. Once we're in this place and you set up your personal area,
Then we
your
get-
tent, then you get together with your group and then you go to the trucks and then you start setting up your work group. Because that's not what the most important is, being able to occupy and sleep that night. You don't need all those other working group places that first night.
I disagree with that.
Yeah, some of them.
First aid needs to be
Well,
up.
no, I'm saying you
First
do,
aid
but
needs to be
that's not the
pretty much a
that's not the
benchmark.
first thing you need to do.
You know, our first
Part of
benchmark.
I mean, as soon as tents are set up, I think first aid needs to go up. I think kitchen needs to go up shortly thereafter, so that we have something to eat the next day.
You know, it's a matter of how efficient we are. We need to have people designated to put up the tents, like say kitchen, media, comfort, medical, library. We need to have people designated to establish that immediately.
I'm
Let's
leaving
finish
for
her
that.
thought, please. We've been interrupting her pretty persistently. Can we let her finish her thought?
No, I'm just saying a car for each of those working groups where there's food. Because like if you don't, you set your tent up, whatever. If you feel it's more important to do the food than you do the food. But like if you have it in the truck, you don't need to carry all the food. But yeah, leave five.
Of course.
That's what I'm saying.
If you have a
No, I
chance.
agree with that.
Go for it.
What if people who aren't sleeping the night set up all the different tents and stuff for media and medical and stuff?
We need to have people who are designated, who know in the case of a raid, they go over to that tent and take the media tent back. You need like 4 people to do the media tent, 4 people to do the medical, 4 people to do the kitchen. You need people who are designated, who know, not just like who's going to do it, you're going to do it, who's going to do it. No, people know in a case of a raid, they're the people who go and take care of that. And also the people.
Discussing setting up for Wednesday.
No, we're discussing how to be nomadic.
Okay.
The entire
All right.
ball of wax.
We have a catalog of those people who can do that, and if not, can we get one? We need to have one.
Yeah, we need to
make
have
one.
one.
We should have a sign up.
Yeah.
We had also discussed having a list of people, trucks, hand trucks, van, anything that can move equipment, that they will need to be on 24-hour call. Like you will need to be available at 3 a.m. if we call you at 3 a.m. Otherwise, it's not a very good. That's where we're going to need you. So we're going to try to get that list together.
Oh, after that.
Okay, we're going to try to get that list together so that we can post that on the inside of whatever staging area we have, so that the people that are at the logistics or bug out camp are able to call all those people and arrange that as soon as we see a police presence.
Is that directly to her?
It was directly. I was thinking earlier. I was talking to, like I have access to the workshop. We can just make a bunch of rolly carts with casters just to have under like our big things, so you don't need to get hand trucks.
Josh and I actually were discussing the same thing earlier.
Something along those lines. All right, now work with me on this one, y'all here. Covered wagons, Oregon Trail style.
Hell yeah!
Serious though. Couple things. How fucking Richmond's would it? How Richmond would it be to have a bunch of covered wagons in camp?
That'd
Like
be
Oregon
great.
Trail style. Number 2, if we design them and construct them appropriately, They can be hitched directly on the back of a pickup truck, which also has a huge bed that you can put stuff in.
We'd have to get a license for them.
Yeah, I think it's better that they be
You have
pushed.
to get a permit to be in a park.
Well, yeah.
You know.
That should be addressed.
Let's let him finish first. Let him finish.
The other advantages, and we can go off of it once we get the whole plan out there. Other advantages would be that if you position them all like in somewhat of a circle, you have like pull-out doors on the bottom. Oh, bam! There's kitchen right there, all on the inside. Everything on the inside, kind of scattered amongst the three. Have all of our stuff just in the wagons at all times, and use wagons instead of tents, so we don't have to take anything down. It's already there, ready to go, ready to move. Likewise, once you pull the people out, that gives you a whole lot more space where we can make those like little trays with wheels and stuff that are spread around camp. Wheel them right over the wagons, put them up in there, they fit in, they stack up like in a storage unit, hitch it onto the back of something. I mean, we're creative people, we're crafty, we can figure something out. But just in concept, having some sort of a wheeled mobile device that can hitch onto the back of a pickup truck. Sure, as long as they have covers.
No, we can make covers.
Attached.
Like you said, we could make trailers. We could use trailers and make
I
the
think
covers.
she had something, right?
But yeah, I like the covering.
This is a wonderful idea. We have 2 days to do this. I think if we're going to plan ourselves around, we have 3 days to do this, including today. If we're going to plan our occupation around wagons, we need some people with drafting experience, and we need some people with carpentry experience, and
bicycle
we need some people
experience.
with bicycle experience, and people with wood shop access, and they need to get together right now and start working.
I mean, I have
They're
wood shop
meeting
access.
after GA.
Okay,
I have wood shop access.
We
I
just
don't
needed
have
to
wood and money.
get our ideas together.
I mean, it's also a problem.
then we need to get on this tonight. That's what I'm saying.
Because I mean, I have wood shop access. I don't have the funding for any of this.
All over the news, man. This is like,
That'd be awesome.
Because I can totally.
I was thinking, since we're talking about making this mobile, we should have our next location set in stone so everyone knows that that's where we're going. We break everything down, protest on the corner for a little bit while the raid's going on, head straight to the next spot, set up, and then once we set up there, plan for the next spot right then.
In relation to that, we had been thinking, and this will of course be up to y'all, and then also up to the GA should they want it. We have been thinking that in the instance of us coming to Monroe Park on Wednesday, if it were possible for us to have a secondary location identified as a part of logistics, and the bug out group, if we can have that location identified but not released, if we get the GA's approval, then we will be able to send a scout ahead here, see if there's police presence here, and if it is, we just go to our second location we set up, and they think we're coming here.
You want GA's approval for that?
We want GA's approval to be able to make that decision in committee and keep it until Wednesday, right before we leave
Do
to
you want
occupy.
GA's approval tonight?
Yes.
I think that's a really good.
I have a concern.
Okay.
It will be extremely hard to keep the location secret. There's no way we can
Pick up.
But that's the whole point.
I've got a possible
filming right
solution. Yeah, well, that's fine. There's a possible solution to this. Last night we had like 3 second place locations that were all tied. Those are 3 locations that were somewhat approved by GA, semi-approved by the location we're approved. If we can get that set of 3 secondary locations approved in GA, and then leave the autonomy to decide exactly where we go because it's tactically important to the logistics bug out work group or whatever, then they have an idea of where we're possibly going. We have scouts that we send to all 3 locations to make sure that none of them have police activity, and then at the last minute we make that decision.
How do we let everyone know to go there?
During when we're all together.
Yeah.
Right, but I was thinking when we were thinking about this, we were thinking that like perhaps prior to the airing of the documentary, someone goes, "Here's the plan. We're gonna march after the documentary. However, if our scouts come back and say that there are police presence in Monroe Park, we're going to location." And that way, we're disseminating the information, but in a strategically advantageous way.
And we should have those locations set with different numbers so that if if maybe the second location also has police,
Right.
and scouts come, and we let everyone know. You know what I mean?
So the concept is having a very limited number of people know the location and then distributing that immediately before we get
Actually
here.
occupied.
And we can identify routes with liquid chalk, which is super easy to make. And you can actually attach it to a bike that'll spray a little line of liquid chalk every couple of feet.
no.
So you can just have someone biking ahead of the route and just liquid chalking the sidewalk so that we have like
That's a great idea.
like a cracker trail to follow.
What do you
Or what if you just have a specific phone tree within logistics, like a mass texting within logistics, you have those people go out to those locations. People within logistics should be leading the march. If you're leading the march and you're saying you're going to this place, then you can have 3 routes already pre-prepared and say we're going to take route number 3 because we can't go to this location. You know,
I think we need to wrap it up.
Yeah, no, we need to get back to exactly. Are we going to do? It's important. We need to decide today because it's happening Wednesday. Trailers or tents for the major group for the kitchen and the media. Trailers or tents.
Mobile.
How do we make it mobile? Do we put it all on wheels?
Then can y'all figure that out?
captures and tarps and zip ties.
I'd say a tent and something mobile would probably be
Can I say, can we do it the way we did it at Kanawha with the understanding that the tents need to be more mobile and then we'll work on the wagon thing because we don't have a lot of time until occupation.
I like the idea is that we need to be able to get into wherever we're going. I would not be surprised if Monroe Park is surrounded by police and barricades while we're in the street. What we need to be thinking of is how do we get into a spot and stay one night? Because when the sun comes up, it gets a whole lot easier to get done what we need to get done. It's very tactically unsound of us to say let's occupy at 7 p.m. Or 8 p.m. whenever it gets done. So likely the best thing to do in my mind would be to just have as a critical mass rally in the park overnight. Have several hundred people here. We'll try to get as many students out as we can. Then we just stand close to one another in a big circle in the middle of the park or something, holding up signs, get like hundreds of hand warmers, have coffee and tea available all night, and just keep people comfortable and standing for as much of the night as possible. So when the sun rises, we can actually put like the tents down. We have the wagons, then we have some infrastructure in there to where we can be operating media out of, kitchen out of, and all those other things temporarily.
And also tent drilling.
Yeah, we need
Look at that in the daytime then.
We can have those trainings tomorrow and Tuesday and Wednesday as well. We don't have to wait.
I just wanted to bring it up. People think.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Have one food cart ready for that night, just for that specific night. They will take out of that one car.
Do you have anything in mind about what those carts would be?
Like you can just take a pallet.
1 minute.
4 cartons, 4 or 5 cartons at the bottom.
We gotta go, guys.
Stack 4 covered containers on them and just peel them. And so you'll have one that has like.
We're gonna have these be ground level.
Yeah, you have one that has like beverages, one that has like snacks and goodies and stuff, another that has like.
To have a.
Then you have
I built to the side to tie down the tarp.
What I'm going to do is I'm just going to run through what we just talked about.
There needs to be some kind of fence.
We need to get something
Construction will add some people.
We can find free pellets.
and another like
Some of the logistics need to be united.
and we can get some
What do y'all feel about a fence? Just that high.
that's fine. I mean that's a secondary.
It's gonna be like 6 to 7 a piece.
Yeah, they're pretty. What if we buy them just the wheels, not attached to anything, so we roll?
I mean, we're gonna need pretty big wheels because they're kind of
All right.
carrying a lot of heavy things.
This is a